It's Monday, May 11th, and you're watching the Hammer Daily here on the Hammer Betting Network, presented by our good friends over at FanDuel. I'm your host for today, Jason Cooper, alongside my producer for the next hour and a bit, Alex Moretto, keeping it tight behind the scenes. Yes, if you want any hockey questions in the chat, don't be afraid to drop them, because guess what? Alex is not only producing the show, he's going to be coming on later today as well. We got a loaded show for you guys today. Excited to get into things. Before we get into things, though, do us a huge favor. Smash that like button. Goes a long way here on the channel. If you're new to the channel as well, hit that subscribe button. I don't know if we have a daily lineup for today. A little different setup, but I can just tell you who we have. It's Monday. That means Corby's coming on. He's been off the last 2 weeks. Excited to bring him back on. The guy is getting married this week. Congratulations. Drop a congratulations in the chat for Corby on him almost soon to be getting married. Maybe not congratulations just yet, because we don't know what can happen between now and then. Maybe his wife will, or his future wife will, run away the second that she sees how much of a Dodgers fan that he is. And she's probably say like, hey, why aren't you a Jays fan? Because the Jays are better than the Dodgers. Anyways, after that, we got Drew coming on. Just going to talk some NBA, talk through some tennis as well. He'll give us some tennis action. I know you guys, if you were in the Discord, I think it was Saturday night, somebody asked for Isaac play. Isaac sent out 2 plays. We won at like 5 a.m. It was incredible stuff. So little plug to join the Discord, discord.gg/hammer. Then finally, like I said, we close out the show with Alex Moretto. Got a great show for you today. Do us a favor, smash the like button, comment down below if you're excited. And we'll get right into things. Before we do that, though, quickly, Victor Wembanyama ejected, throws an elbow. And listen, a lot of people are mad at him on Twitter. You put your team, you let your team down. It's only happened, I think it was in the end of the second quarter, maybe. You're their best player. You're one of the best players in the world. How could you do this? How could you be so selfish? Fuck that. Screw that. Don't let them talk like that to you, Victor Wembanyama. You're the best player on the team. And in a day and age of the NBA where everyone is as soft as butter, give me a star player who cares so much as to throw an elbow on somebody. I don't care if it was a flagrant 2. I don't care that he got suspended. He got kicked out of the game. Let's hope he doesn't get suspended. If he gets suspended, this is an absolute joke by the NBA. But he got kicked out, and that's not okay. They're not tied to the series. But give me a guy with as much determination to win as that guy. That guy cares. That guy cares, and it cannot be said the same about a bunch of other stars in the NBA. Give me a guy who cares over a guy who doesn't any day of the week. So if you're hating on Wemby for throwing that elbow, you're a loser. You're soft. You need to grow up a little bit. Let him go. Let him throw hands if he has to. Let him throw hands. Malice in the Palace 2.0. Let's do it. Let's do it. Maybe Spurs and OKC is going to end up like that. Anyways, excited to get into the show with you guys today. I don't know if you heard, but we got some major championship golf coming up soon. And if you're going to want to bet it, you're going to want to bet it over at our friends at FanDuel, because major championship golf is here, and every shot can move you up the board. And on FanDuel, you get a little extra to play with. Right now, all customers can get 2 30% profit boosts to use before the championship begins. Use them on a top finish bet, like the top 5, top 10, top 20, and more. Back the golfers you think will be in the mix come Sunday. Because in a tournament like this, it's not just about who wins, it's about who stays near the top. If you're going to want to bet this stuff, listen, I can go on and on about the golfers I think will win, but tomorrow we got a pretty loaded golf show for you. So you're going to want to tune into that. However you play it, FanDuel has you covered from pre-tournament picks to live bets as the leaderboard shifts. So step up, lock in your boosts, and make your move. Visit FanDuel.com/forward-progress to get started. Must be 21 plus and present in select states. For Kansas, Kansas Star Casino, 18 plus and present in DC, Kentucky, or Wyoming. Opt-in required. Bonus issue is now withdrawable profit boost token. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration, max wager amount. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 1-800-MY-RESET. Call 1-888-789-7777. Visit ccpg.org/China, Connecticut. Visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. Visit gaminghelplinema.org or call 1-800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts. Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY in New York. Call 1-877-770 or 7867 in Louisiana. All right. Excited to get into the rest of the show. Excited to bring on our first guest. We got a lot to talk about with you guys here today. And we're going to bring him on in just a second. He's our first guest. He's the creator of Better Odds. And by this time next week, he'll be a married man as long as he remembers to say yes. The pride of UAB, Corby Craig. How's it going?
I like the intro, Jason. It's been a minute.
I know it's been a while. You've been busy. I'm excited to talk to you. Excited to find out that you're doing the thing this week. It's going to be good. I'm proud of you.
I got a lot of things to start off with. But while you're talking, I had to notice the Hooters shirt, man. You bring out some good shirts. So yeah, shout out to you. You were like covering it up. I guess it's cold in Canada, which is crazy.
No, it's like 10 degrees. It's like jacket weather. It's like you can comfortably wear a jacket. I know it's early May, but this is like it's been warmer than it's been recently, so it's kind of shocking.
That's
to see.
good, dude.
Yeah, Hooters.
Hey, glad to hear y'all don't have snow in May. It would be a tough thing to decide to live in a place that just always has snow. But yeah, I like the shirt overall.
Yeah, National Tractor Championship in Bowling Green, Ohio. So I attended that, and people. Anyways, excited to get into today's show with you. You're getting married. We talked about it. Chat is saying congratulations or like good luck and all that sort of stuff.
Thank you.
I have a question for you though.
Hit me.
If you let's say you didn't have like any real friends, okay?
That's fucked up. But all right, let's go.
Yeah. If you had to choose one person from gambling Twitter to be your best man, who would it be and why?
That's I was pre-prepared with the question, but I didn't know his best man. I would say the easiest two from the people I know. Like, let's go people I know. Like, you could always choose like something funny. The easiest two would be Sammy P, because he would hype you up. Like, that's just like an actual
100%.
That's a great one. Would know nothing about you. It would just be smoke the whole time you're talking. He's like, Corby rescued a koala. It's like, what? Okay. Second would have to be the man himself, Jeff Nadeau. Because talk about the way to take all worry off of you is just let Jeff talk, because you know where it's going to go. He's going to talk about somehow it's going to become himself. And then it's like, all right, well, the stress isn't on Corby anymore. So, Sammy P, Jeff Nadeau, that'd probably have to be the two.
Those are two, honestly, incredible picks. I commend you for that. Rob in the chat saying he would take Andy Molitor.
I could see that. I've had the privilege of meeting Andy once, and he is a blast and a half. So I could see that. It's a good pick for Rob. Jason, what would your pick be? I could see you going with something stupid, like I'm not going to say any names, but I could see you going something.
Why? What do you think I'm going to pick, like GRP or like Zilbert or someone in that nature?
I could see it in you.
Honestly, like I would pick you, man.
We'll take that. I'm known. I'm pretty known for enjoying giving a speech, so that's fine. I would kill the speech.
Yeah, you're good at chopping it up with people. Like, you would impress the in-laws. It seems like you're like pretty normal, which is unique for gambling Twitter. And again, like you said, you can talk. You can give a speech.
Yeah, I would no longer be fun for the women. I'm a locked up man, Jason. But hey, it leaves more for everybody else, so it'll be okay.
There you go. All right. Again, proud of you, buddy. Excited for you. Wishing you all the best. But let's get into today's show. We got some MLB action going on today. But wait, hold on. Off the top, you had some things you wanted to talk about. Is there anything that you want to just get off your chest since you haven't been on the show for like 2 weeks?
Yeah, a few things. First off, being dead honest, because I don't know. Your Malachi Lemon receiver was wrong, right?
Yes.
I didn't know. I knew that there was like some like trade up something.
Yes.
I didn't know if it like somehow it was a snipe, but old buddy from Ohio State went like really. I don't know. Listen, I said Ty Simpson wouldn't go first round. So what do I know? You know. So no, it's not a hate towards you. I genuinely didn't know. Then the second one, I was thinking about it while you were talking. I don't know why. This is a fascination on my brain like the last 2 weeks. So I'll tell you, you can just digest it. We don't even have to talk about it. I'll give it to the chat. But there was a study done. It was like one of the biggest like bettors of the political whatever. They said that like the study they did to like decide they wanted to bet Trump was they called it like ask your neighbor. So like you would go to your neighbor and be like, who do you think Jason's going to vote for? Assuming that like you wouldn't say Trump because you just are worried about like the social pressure of that. So like ask a neighbor. I was thinking like, first off, that is an awesome way to like get a more fair value of like what we think the person is. I don't know how you can do it in sports, but I was thinking about this recently. It's like I was thinking about it with like the LeBron Jordan debate. It's like, who do you think your neighbor would like more? But there has to be a way in sports to be like take out any cognitive bias of like I don't want to say LeBron, but it's LeBron. I've been thinking about it. I don't know how we could spin it, Jason, but we need to figure out something. I know it won't be involved with the Blue Jays to win the World Series because I don't care who tells me what. But we need to figure out a way to use that idea. The idea is just ingrained in my head, and it's been driving me crazy. I
have like an idea for that. We'll message after that. Maybe we can get the engineers on it and get it built out, because I think using the internet is probably the best way to do that. Honestly,
internet is a cool place. So
yes.
Yeah, we could do that.
All right. Yeah. No, I don't want to reveal anything now because now you got the ideas flowing.
So
but
I only brought it up because it's so fun. Like it could go infinite ways, and I don't think any of it would have any indication to anything, but it would be a blast to do. So we can get on it. I'll hey, engineer right here. So we'll get after it.
There you go. This whole thing started with like LeBron James. You're just thinking about LeBron James, Michael Jordan. Like, isn't it clear now that it's like obviously LeBron James? I kind of went on a rant on this like 2 or 3 weeks ago after the Lakers won round 1.
That's not even a debate. If any person debates it, I just say you probably think music in the 80s was better too. You probably think track and field guys don't run as fast as they did back. It's only because technology. It's like, yeah, you have what they call. I actually just sent this to Jeff on Twitter. You have declinism. It's a cognitive bias. You just think the past is better than the future. Is not the truth. It's not close. We won't go on the rant, but like Jason, I think we're in the same boat. It's not close. And it's not a hate towards Michael Jordan. Like, this is the day that I stopped arguing this, and you can stop as well, because here's the easiest debate ever. You ask him, what would LeBron James have to do to be the greatest ever? And if there is no answer, they are wrong, because obviously there has to be an answer. If he played for 100 years, he would be the greatest ever. Yeah. All right. So there has to be an answer. And every single time they go win 6 finals without losing, it's like, bro, shut the fuck. What are we talking about here? And then it's just like, all right, well, then we're done. The
only edge that Jordan has is that he allegedly bet on his bet on the NBA, which honestly would give him a bump in the GOAT debate if that stuff ended up.
If you were to talk about just pure swag, like Jordan's got him outnumbered by far. Like, it's not even close. I mean, Jordan would smoke a cigar, play golf, and then go drop 40, which is crazy. But we're not talking about who's cooler. LeBron's candidly not that cool. Like, if you watch him play golf on the YouTube channel the other day, he just says cuss words because he thinks they're cool. And it's like, all right, shut up, dude.
LeBron's too corny. Anyways, let's get into. I only have you for a little bit here, so let's get into the rest of the segment. We want to talk some MLB. We want to talk some MLB bets. We got 6 games today in the MLB. Talk me through what you like. Anything you see on the board? Any totals you like? Any spreads you like? Talk me through this today.
Yeah, it's kind of messed up that we're doing this head-to-head. And before doing the head-to-head, I have to do a side or total, which is like, okay. And also, Jason, let's note that you did win the head-to-head week 1. And you won it off of a
push.
An asterisk. Yeah, push, and I had a total before we started the head-to-head that won. Like, how is this? Okay. So Jason did win week 1. He had Kyle Tucker home run, and Kyle Tucker didn't play. Which allows him to win. That means like the only way I win is if the guy hits a home run. Like, that's the only way I would win. Yeah. So, but whatever, it's all good. I'm prepped. I hope you're prepped. From a side standpoint, nothing. Totals. I bet the Guardians Angels under 7.5, which is just not that fun of a number to get to. I think the Angels suck. They've looked like viable. I think they're 15th in runs, 29th in strikeouts, and I think at some point, like, obviously those are 2 very generic stats. I'm just using them for the sake of the show. I think that's closer to where they trend towards. Is like, I do think that they strike out that bad, and if you can't see the ball good enough, like, I don't think you're going to score in the top quartile of runs at all. I have them at 22nd, and I still think that's a little high. And then Cleveland is always fun. They don't really strike out. Fun is a strong word. They're boring as hell, but they don't strike out. They do all the things right. But ultimately, I see this lineup. I think it's like basically 4 good guys. And Jason, I don't know if he's going to start today. I have him as the starter, but it's TBD. Your boy, Alek Manoah.
I knew you were going to say that. Not friends. My boy. Not my boy at all.
Best friend Alek Manoah, friend of the show, is might play today. I'm not sure. So I have him in. It's TBD, but I have him. Would be curious to see how he looks, because I did hear he lost a little weight. It was needed. He was getting pretty chunky over there in Toronto.
We do have some of the best food in the world over here, so I can't blame him. Also, I will throw in there, it seems like there's going to be some wind blowing in for the Guardians and Angels game, so might help you out with the under there, because I was actually looking at Chase DeLauder home runs. So that would be a bad choice in my opinion, at least. Fun fact, Jason, I bet so. Like, this year has been weird. Last year I found myself I would say probably 80% of my bets were overs last year, just like game overs, and I had the best year betting I've ever had. And this year, like, only unders. So for at some point I was like, all right, something's broken. Yesterday I bet I believe 3 games, loss. They're all unders. Loss, push, and every other game went under in the entire board. So nature of the beast right now is baseball is trending towards an under sport. I don't think that actually matters, but worth noting. If you bet the Dodgers under with me, you got one of the only pushes in the entire card. All right. Seems like we're not betting the Dodgers under with you then. No. Guardians and Angels under it is this week. All right. Let's get into the home runs. Let's get into the strikeouts. What do you want to do first? I'll go first.
You go first because I think that my home run doesn't fit in our criteria. What was it, 350?
Yeah, oh, I forgot about that shit.
Yeah, wait. If you didn't do it, I didn't do it either. So let's just use what we got.
Okay. Well, are you just gonna wait? Hold on. No. We have to use it. You're just gonna use Ohtani.
You see my numbers. My numbers are a public number. Yeah, I want to use it. He's 240. I guess. All right. I'll you pivot. I'll pivot.
All right. I'm gonna have to pivot as well, but I'm gonna start with the strikeout prop. And I'm actually taking an alt because I don't want to give it like a minus 158 because our other rule was for the pitcher prop. It's got to be like around minus, like we can't be lower than minus 150. It was 158, so I was just gonna go one rung up the ladder, and I'm gonna take Kevin Gausman over 6 strikeouts at plus 140. It's simple. The Jays are just a great team. The Rays have been super hot. I'm afraid of that team, but Kevin Gausman's the GOAT. Give me Kevin Gausman 6+ strikeouts, plus 140.
It's a fair bet. I'm struggling over here, Jason. All right, let's go home runs. Man, Ohtani is the one I want, but it's okay. It's okay. We'll pivot. We'll go.
I'm pivoting too, and it's not great, but
we'll go Corbin Carroll.
Okay.
Because his name is almost my name. I see 475. It looks like I make him 430. So we're not talking about something crazy, but Corbin Carroll. Yeah, I'm not going to give any reason as to why because I pivoted off of Ohtani, but Corbin Carroll, that's where I'll go. You go with a home run, and then I'll come back with a strikeout because I'm looking for best price FanDuel, and I'm not going to lie to you. I've got some good ones, but I'm going to have to find FanDuel because sponsor the show.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. I appreciate you doing that. I just, again, quickly finding a bet. I had another one that was just short of plus 350, which is whatever we set the bar at. So I'm going to go way out in left field here and take Ernie Clement at 12-1 because I just honestly looked at BetStamp. It's the best price in market on FanDuel. So I just got to click it. Drew Rasmussen. I've owned him a bit in fantasy. I feel like that guy stinks. I don't really have a good analysis on this one because I forgot about the rule that we set, which is funny because I set the rule. So
that's true.
There you go. 12-1, Ernie Clement. I'll remember the rule for next time.
All right. I've got you a strikeout prop. And you went plus money, so Jason, I'll return the favor. Give me FanDuel plus 138, Trevor McDonald. 4.5 strikeouts over against the Dodgers. First off, how can you be bad with a last name McDonald? That's an all-time last name. Second, I think his stuff is really nasty. Jason, whenever you're bored, I know you don't do much after the show. Go look at my I don't know why I said that. Go look at my Twitter. I put a video of McDonald. He's got some electric stuff. Like it's nasty. And granted, he had a 5 ERA last year, but I think his stuff looks like plenty fine. The Dodgers, if there is one fault of the Dodgers, they do strike out a decent amount. Like I think they have a lot of home run hitters who swing really hard and aren't too worried about striking out because they know the guy behind them is undoubtedly another all-star. Jason, let me note again, the Dodgers are plus 185 to win the World Series after starting off pretty bad, having a pitcher get hurt, and Mookie Betts hasn't played. So, yeah, give me the team who I just said is really good to strike out a lot. Trevor McDonald, old McDonald himself, 4.5 strikeouts over plus 138 FanDuel.
All right, over 4.5 strikeouts plus 138. Guy is built like an absolute Mack truck. He looks like an absolute unit there. I just saw that video on Twitter. And hey, Dodgers getting better in price dropping in price as the year goes on. You're getting some, not CLV, but just, you're not seeing those numbers that you were betting out earlier at the beginning of the season. Blue Jays, on the other hand, have gone in the complete opposite direction. And I wish we waited to make that World Series bet.
Yeah. What's Blue Jays current?
27-1.
I have for anybody who didn't watch the preseason, I have a Blue Jays ticket that is, I literally bought the worst price in market on purpose for Jason. I have 11-1, which is sick. So that's fun. My account could not be healthier, Jason. They look at it and they're like, what is this? I'm like, yeah.
I appreciate that. And for those who don't know, it's because Corby lost the bet with me. It was Canada, US spread.
Yeah.
Run line, US sorry.
Beat their ass and they're like, what? By technicality.
Yeah, well, you got the super team. I'm excited if maybe we can get like a Canada US World Cup matchup. I don't even know if that's even possible, but Wonder if we can get that so we can do a little another head-to-head in the World Cup.
I didn't know y'all played non-cold sports. I thought Canada was just hockey, indoor basketball, indoor baseball.
You know what? How about this? I would argue we're more live. I haven't looked at odds. We're more live to make it out of the group stage than you guys are.
I'll keep it a buck with you, Jason. I've never watched a soccer match in my entire life, so I have no clue. But when the U.S. is in wherever they got to go, trust me, I'll have my flags up. I'll be a patriot through and through.
All right. I don't know if you're going on your honeymoon after your wedding. If you are, enjoy it. If not, we're gonna have to come up with this advance to the next round bet. Whoever can go further in the tournament for the World Cup. I feel like that's our next bet we have to make.
Yeah, we can do it next week. I'm leaving June 1st through 10th, so I won't do that like that. But next week I'll be good. Right. We'll make that. I'll beat your ass, and then I'll head off to the sunset and have a good time.
All right, Corby, appreciate you. It's actually going to be after you come back. The World Cup starts June.
I didn't even know. 13, I didn't even know it was one of the years that the World Cup happens. I have no that's fun.
Anyways, Corby, appreciate you joining the show. Before you head out, reminder: say yes to all the vows. To make sure you do a good job there. Don't trip on your way down the aisle.
Honestly, you asked like nerves. I'll make it short. You asked about nerves. I'm not nervous about anything. I got very blessed with who I chose to do life with, except for walking down the aisle, Jason. You don't walk with anybody. So it's just me. But I'm a pretty lanky guy. I'm gonna be hustling down the aisle. Like somebody's gonna have to give me like cues to walk because I might hit a 4.40. I might down and shoot because like there's gonna be some nerve there, so we're gonna see. It'll be interesting.
It's all right. It's gonna be incredible. Everything's gonna go great. Happy for you, buddy. All the best. Enjoy your week and enjoy your wedding. Appreciate you, Corby. Great stuff there from Corby as always. Follow Corby on Twitter at CorbyBO on Twitter. Great stuff there from Corby. One's in the chat for Corby. Best of luck with the wedding. He's gonna have an incredible time. It's gonna be incredible. So happy for him. Good to see. Good to see that. Good to see that. Anyways, referenced it before we brought on Corby. FanDuel has a couple promos for the PGA Championship this weekend. And if you're not sure kind of what to bet on, we got something lined up perfectly for you guys tomorrow. Because Jeff Feinberg will be here in this chair, noon Eastern time. No Hammer Daily. We got the PGA Championship betting extravaganza. Look at him. Jeff Feinberg is a little worried in that picture. It seems like we're going to bring Scotty on. Unfortunately, no, Scotty will not be on the show with us. Open invite if he wants to come on, though. But yeah, we'll be live noon Eastern time on the Hammer HQ YouTube channel, on this channel right here. Non-stop guests for 2 hours straight, giving out all kinds of banger bets. If you watched our Masters extravaganza, it was a great time. It was a lot of fun, and we did pretty well for ourselves. I wish I should know the guests who gave out the dual winner of Scotty and Rory. I believe it was 60-1 at FanDuel, when it was 22-1 at other places, which is probably why you want to bet some of the stuff at FanDuel. Did a great job. 60-1 winner out there. That's tomorrow, Tuesday, noon Eastern time, here on the Hammer HQ YouTube channel. So no Hammer Daily. Get your bets in for NBA and NHL for Tuesday. Get them in today. All right. Let's not keep him waiting any longer. Our second guest, he's an NFL, NBA, and tennis handicapper. He's a betting analyst over at NBC Sportsbet, co-host of the Deep Dive podcast, and the best bottom-up wine expert on gambling Twitter, Drew Dinsk. Drew, how's it going?
Oh, it's going great, man. Heading up to wine country this week, actually, so I'm in a great mood.
I need to again. You got to give me the tips. You got to give me the wine to buy. If you like anything, I want to try the stuff that you like. This is like I'm trying to grow my palate. I've downloaded. Is it Vivino, the wine tasting app?
Yeah,
I downloaded it. Starting to rate wines. I'm getting into this.
That's like the key. That's a huge milestone. Just keeping track of what you're drinking, what you think about it. Like that's a huge step in the right direction, man. Honestly, like that's a game changer.
I'm excited to do it. Listen, the palate isn't really there, but I'm mostly keeping it just to remember who I was with, if I liked it or not, rating it out of 5, and it's as simple as that.
There you go. That's brilliant. Yeah. Seriously though, like, palate there, it takes a lot of experience unless you were born with like a specific, olfactory senses that are just better than the average human. Like, you really have to, you have to work hard. And, but that said, like, once you've tried all the different varietals, once you've tried, old world, new world, and you kind of start to develop like an opinion of like, I really liked that, but I liked it better with this type of food. Like, it all comes together. And yeah, wine country, Napa, Sonoma, usually is going absolutely bananas in May. So heading up there on Thursday, spending a good amount of time up there, procuring my releases for to restock the wine cellar. So I'm fired up.
All right, you got to let me know what your favorite bottle is, or which, like, the number one bottle you're looking forward to try in the wine cellar before you head home for this weekend. But let's get into today's show. Let's get into this segment here. Want to talk obviously playoff ball, but we had the lottery happen yesterday, and you got a feel for Pacers fans. Pretty interesting stuff. You rarely see an owner come out and be like, "Listen, I screwed up. I made the mistake here. We shouldn't have done this trade. I helped push for this trade." What do you make of like the whole Pacers fiasco, trading Zubats for essentially the 5th overall pick?
It was a bad trade. I don't know. I don't really have much else on it. No, seriously. At the time, it was like, wow, did the Clippers like kind of stole Garland from the Cavs, got out of that James Harden situation very, very elegantly. And then, yeah, absolute heist. I mean, Zubac is a good player, and he probably will, like, he fits really, really well if Halliburton comes back and is, like all NBA, kind of first or second team all NBA type of quality next year, then they'll be players in the East. But yeah, that's got to sting. I don't know. I don't think this was like an especially deep draft. Like, you're probably missing out on a guy who's, borderline ever going to be on an all NBA team. I mean, it's tough to project some of these players because we just have, the entire top 10 right now, I think, is all going to be, freshmen 1 year of college. And in general, outside of AJ Debanza, I'm not sure there's anyone I would say with high confidence is going to be, a true difference maker at the NBA level. But a player like Darius Acuff might be there at 5 and go to the Clippers instead of the Pacers, and that's going to sting.
Yeah, he'll be a great could be great in the NBA for him, and Clippers could use the Pacers could have used someone like that. Let's get into the games last night.
Man,
I mean, I don't know which one to start with. I feel like the Knicks. We're talking about I was talking with Alex previously earlier before we got on the show today. Just talking about how the Carolina Hurricanes didn't sweep the Flyers. They cleaned house. And I think you could say the same thing for the Knicks here. They absolutely cleaned house. They didn't just sweep. They deep cleaned the bleep out of the 76ers, which is tough for 76ers fans coming off like that, such a big upset for the Celtics. Did you, after watching that series, are you upgrading the Knicks? The Knicks feel like they've been upgraded sort of every little bit as they've gone on throughout the playoffs. And how do you feel like the Knicks fare against the Pistons or the Cavs?
I'm struggling to understand what's going on with the Knicks. I just didn't see that. I thought they were a pretty low ceiling, like kind of a known quantity. Like, the idea that they did this well against the Sixers was pretty shocking. The idea that the Sixers beat the Celtics, I'm still trying to figure out what the heck happened there. And yeah, I mean, like, the Knicks, if you're a team that does not have elite point of attack defense, Jalen Brunson is going to absolutely cook your ass. Like, and I think ultimately that's what happened. Like, they just didn't have really any answer to stop the Knicks from just kind of running, rolling downhill. The fact that they didn't have OG Anunoby for games 3 and 4, and particularly in game 4, and just like took apart the Sixers was pretty stunning. My general read is, the Pistons are the team to beat in the East, I think. But boy, do I have low confidence in saying that. My kind of theory, at least of May of 2026, is that this was going to be sort of the coming out party for Asar Thompson as one of the best on-ball defenders in the NBA, maybe the best. And I think if the Pistons come through against the Cavs, which I have staked pretty aggressively that they will, very, knocking on wood here, that they can win game 4, and then put this thing to bed in game 5, in 5. Like, I think that they have the right recipe defensively to make things much tougher on the Knicks than what we saw against the Hawks, and certainly against the Sixers. So Knicks, a long way to go until ultimately they would, punch a ticket to the finals. And if they take apart the Pistons, with being on the road and just in general, going up against an elite defense, like I'm really going to be struggling to what to do with them and the pricing them in the finals. Right now, it feels like it's Thunder would be. I would probably make them -1. I can actually look this up right now. If it's Knicks Thunder in the finals, my sweep price is going to be like -125. So I'm not really still pricing the Knicks like a very respectful team. And I don't know. I'm really soul searching on what I'm missing about how these pieces are fitting together and playing so perfectly. Because Mike Brown, I had questions about him heading into these playoffs. And again, like I thought this was a relatively low ceiling team, high floor, but low ceiling. And the fact that they're doing it without, with no contributions practically from Miles Bridges and absence from OG Anunoby, who was such an important player these last 2 games. It's like, man, I may have sincerely underestimated them, and they just have a playoff gear that I didn't see coming.
Yeah, no, they're just, not only is this Knicks team like winning games, they've covered 3 of the 4 games by like a pretty wide margin, especially in the 3rd game when I believe it was Embiid was out in the second game, came back for the 3rd game. And they were dogs in that game, which is crazy looking back now. On the road, they were 3.5 point dogs in that one, and they won by, what was it? They won by 14, I think. So this Knicks team, ever since blowing out the Hawks, has just been interesting.
Yeah, I think the market there's a world where the market is overrating them going up against the Pistons, and we're going to get good prices on the Pistons. But I don't know, man. I'm the Eastern Conference is so weak. I don't think you can realistically take these results and say, well, the Knicks were a sleeping giant super team. I think their day will come when we see them get exposed. And I think right now Pistons are the bet to win the East.
Yeah, the East is fighting for the privilege of getting destroyed by one of the Spurs or the Thunder. Or
you think the Spurs still have a chance?
I don't know. We'll talk about that. I guess we'll talk about that right away. Segue into the other game last night where the Timberwolves beat the Spurs off the back of a Wemby ejection. I kind of started off the show with a lot of people complaining about Wemby on Twitter, saying you can't put your team in that position. But I kind of loved it. I love to see the fire from a star player, even though he got kicked out of the game. That's obviously not great. You don't want to do that. But like, feels like the NBA has been missing a guy like this, or this type of energy from a star player for a little while now. Maybe it's just the Canadian hockey brain of mine. To see that, like choosing violence. Maybe I'm riding a high off of the UFC card this weekend, which was incredible. But yeah, Spurs end up losing the game. Still love what Wemby did. Hopefully he doesn't get suspended. If he gets suspended, this is
no. He's not going to get. There's not going to be any discipline. I wouldn't guess.
Talk us through that game, even though it was like sort of a unique scenario. No Wemby.
Well, I needed it. So I was like, get this guy out of here. I don't think any of the criticism is warranted at all. Like you said, I think you actually said it well. There are very few star players in the NBA who took the end of the regular season as seriously as Wemby did. He was very clearly playing for a level up in terms of his just people's opinion of him. He was playing for the MVP the whole month of March and April, when a lot of other teams were just kind of going through the motions. And his competitive spirit and fire was on full display in the Olympics in 2024. And I think in general, international basketball and what you've seen from him, at the All-Star game, like the All-Star game was a glorified exhibition. Wemby was playing it like his life depended on it. It was freaking awesome. And like the energy that he brings is contagious. The fact that he is willing to kind of get physical, I think, is hugely important for like him ultimately reaching the level he ought to as an NBA playoff player. If he took if he got physically beaten up in this year's playoffs and didn't show that level of fight, I would be more concerned long term. But the fact that he is kind of giving it back and literally kind of communicating very clearly, I think, to everybody, you're not just going to be able to kind of beat me up and I'm going to go away. Like I'm going to be a problem. That's a hugely positive sign. Now, ultimately, is the team experienced enough and talented enough to compete with OKC? I doubt it. OKC looks like they have, even without Jalen Williams, they have so many different ways they can beat you. It's pretty amazing. And I hope that is a fun series. I think that the Spurs will come through. But if I think that many moons ago, I think we made a line on OKC number of losses on their way to the title, and it was like 2.5. And I think that may come in comfortably under.
Yeah, I think it might come in comfortably under. Has there ever been a team that's gone 16-0 in the playoffs? I've actually never. She's probably done some research on this. Looked it up.
The 2001 Lakers were the most dominant playoff team that I remembered, and I think they lost one game.
Wow.
And it was It was game 1 against the Sixers where Allen Iverson did the walkover tie Lue.
Yes.
That I think it was that Lakers team was the most dominant playoff team that I remember watching. And I probably, I followed a lot of the Jordan era Bulls, but they didn't ever really feel quite as dominant for some reason. It was sort of just Jordan's singular excellence that kind of raised the bar for those teams. And I think the Warriors were, with Durant and Curry, were obviously pretty unbeatable that first year. The second year, they needed the Rockets to miss a million threes to get to the finals. But ultimately, I would say this Thunder team is in kind of that rare air discussion wise. Their net rating is going to be pretty close to the best of any playoff team once it's all said and done, I think, this year.
Wow, this Thunder team has been great. We'll talk about the Thunder series in just a second. Just quickly, if you had an opinion, seems like you're pretty confident on the Spurs walking over on Iverson style, the Minnesota Timberwolves here. Series price minus 460 right now on the Spurs. That seems a little too rich? Is that a little too rich for you right now?
No. I think Spurs are a discount on minus 467.
Okay.
That should be more like minus 900.
Okay. All right. Spurs.
Look, I took some Timberwolves just as a matter of like, I thought it was going to be a close-ish series. I'm all the way out on that now. Got my 2 games. Get me the hell out of here. I think the Spurs come through and win convincingly game 5, and then maybe we have a war in game 6 that's kind of ugly, low scoring. Like that total should probably be around 208, and it's going to be around 215. So that under for game 6 is going to be fun. But I think the Spurs win the next 2 and come through. I would lay minus 467 right now for their series price without really thinking twice about it.
All right, there it is. Spurs. Let's get into the Thunder and Lakers series. Let's get into the Pistons, Cavs. Let's do Thunder and Lakers first, because I feel like there's not really too much to say here, because this Thunder team is so interesting to watch against the Lakers, because like I don't know how they do it, but like at times I'll be like looking up at the TV. Lakers, like I think there was a time in the third quarter of the game on Saturday when I think the game was almost tied, or the Lakers were up by 1 point, and then I like blink, I like turn away for 5 minutes, and I look back at the TV, and the Thunder are all of a sudden up 13 points. I'm like, where the hell did that come from? Their ability to score at will and score in bunches like that and just drown and smother teams is insane. They're obviously leaps and bounds ahead of this Lakers team, and they would be leaps and bounds even if the Lakers were fully healthy. They've been able to cover the last 2 games in the series. Do you think they're covering this 11.5 number here? It feels like the numbers calmed down a little bit. Any opinion on this game tonight?
My book is blasted into Thunder sweep, so just give me a win. just win, baby.
Yeah.
No mercy. Sweep the leg. If the Lakers win this one and send it back to game 5, I'm gonna be pretty disappointed. I don't think the Lakers are good enough. I don't know what answers they go to now. I mean, you got, Austin Reeves and Rui playing 40 minutes a game and, soaking up a ton of usage against, just completely overmatched against the defense of the Thunder. The fact that AJ Mitchell kind of emerged as a second banana to SGA, and maybe he's actually even playing better than SGA, which is kind of insane. Like the two-time MVP is getting outplayed by, a guy who's basically making his first ever appearance in playoff setting is unbelievable. Chet Holmgren, obviously incredibly important for them defensively. He hasn't even really emerged much offensively, and yet all these guys are just casually putting up plus 20s every game. It's absolutely ridiculous. So yeah, I think the Thunder win going away. 15.5 is that the current price?
Right now, no, it's 10.5. I don't know. 11.5 juice. Or 11.5, 106 right now for the Thunder.
My number is 15.5, so
right,
I would lay Thunder.
All right. In the same vein of the Thunder, I've sort of been asking a bunch of people who come on the show just about the Western Conference Finals MVP. Just do you think Shea maybe has too much equity soaked up at minus 290? Chet Holmgren 30-1, and like I know it works both ways when I'm going to say this, but like if he's able to, he's going to have a tough matchup versus Wemby. But if he like neutralizes Wemby a little bit, the spotlight will be on that matchup, right? So like if Chet Holmgren can sort of play out for 2 or 3 of the 4 games, assuming there's going to be less than 4 games, less than 5 games. If Chet Holmgren can show out in majority of those games, put Wemby in his back pocket and put up an offensive showing. Is that too crazy to think at like a 30-1 price to maybe throw a dart at?
I talked myself into that last year with Chet, and it didn't go well. So my gut says don't touch the stove on this one. Just SGA is just going to be the guy.
Just too good. Yeah.
But you know your points are valid. If it's a short series, if it's a 4-game series, if it's a 5-game series, like that introduces more variance. The fact that to my eye, the fact that SGA is being outplayed offensively by AJ Mitchell so far is kind of insane. But Chet he's not a natural scorer. He's more of a spacer. He's it's always gonna feel like his value defensively is part of a whole, and his value offensively is maybe the 3rd most, even in a really, really good series from him. So I feel like he would have to run like a golden god shooting the 3, and he's not really firing with confidence right now. He only took 4 threes in the last game, missed them all. I don't think he's going to ultimately get enough usage and enough counting stats, because a lot of the time the votes for these series MVPs, like it just comes down to counting stats, which is stupid and annoying. But even if from an efficiency standpoint, Holmgren is the straw that stirs the drink, it's going to go to SGA.
All right. Maybe it goes to SGA, or maybe you look even further back, like you mentioned there with AJ Mitchell, who 225-1 is just like, these numbers are just insane on some of these players. Like, and it only takes like, I'm not rooting for injury, and I think our injury to Shea would be horrible for me and my OKC futures, but 225-1 on AJ Mitchell, it's like, it only takes him to miss 1 or 2 games, and then you're live on that.
He's playing so well right now.
Yeah, and he's getting minutes.
He's got a hot hand. It's like with tennis players, like when they don't know that they don't know that this isn't supposed to be this easy this early. You know, he's playing with a level that I did not think possible. I loved him all regular season. He was kind of the perfect 6th man, spot starter when you needed him. For this team, but the fact that they're doing it and making it look easy without Jalen Williams is amazing. And
it's pretty impressive. And you got to think again, if they're going to have a stranglehold on these series like they've been having, they're just going to limit Jalen Williams. Jalen Williams might play like 10 minutes a night for the rest of the playoffs, because they're not going to, no point in hurting his long-term value.
Here's the problem a little bit though with these series, and again, like you kind of, and I hate this about the NBA playoffs because I'm a numerical, data-driven kind of handicapper in my soul. And so the fact that like you kind of throw numbers out and it's more vibes-based betting in the playoffs it annoys me to a degree. But you get, we can't lose sight of the fact that this has been a very, very easy path so far for the Thunder. They drew the fundamentally flawed Suns and then the broken Lakers. Like this has not been exactly a Warriors test, but that's, my underpinning numbers for the Thunder says this was a super team. My underpinning numbers for the Knicks says it's not. And so I kind of want, like, Knicks, congratulations, you beat a Hawks team that just didn't really have a number 1 offensive creator. Congratulations. CJ McCollum was the most valuable offensive player for the Hawks. Congratulations, you beat them in 6. And then you just took apart a Sixers team that just didn't have defense or a coach. Like, congratulations. It's tough to on one hand kind of put the Knicks down a bit because of their path, and then on the other hand not acknowledge that the Thunder have had an extremely easy go of it, and it's about to get much tougher. But I think there's still a pretty decent gap between Spurs and Thunder, and I think that series price ought to start with a 5.
Wow. All right. Let's close this out here because I got to get you on in just a sec. Pistons, Cavs, any opinions for tonight's game before you head out? Pistons
for me here. I think they win outright. I Don't understand 3.5 point spread.
Mm.
I don't think that there was much of a difference between these two teams in game 3 in Cleveland. And I think, again, like the point of attack defense that Asar Thompson brings to the table, affecting Mitchell and Harden, is going to be the distinguishing factor for this game. Cavs not good enough defensively to take Cade Cunningham out of his rhythm here. So I think the Pistons find a way.
All right, Pistons find a way. Pistons plus 140 at FanDuel. If you're going to bet this on FanDuel, take the plus 140 over the 3.5 minus 106, just a little bit better compared to the rest of the market than the spread there. Drew, appreciate you coming on the show. Before you, I know I said I had to get you up quickly, but any tennis stuff, last second tennis stuff. Chat loves tennis.
Must watch Iga Osaka coming up here in Rome. Iga is starting to build a little bit of momentum, and everybody else in the women's tour, Rybakina in particular, starting to look a little tie-tie. Sabalenka looking a little bit like she's maybe pointing more towards Wimbledon than trying to win the French Open this year. So if Iga builds momentum in a Rome title hunt here, which would start in earnest with a very tough test against Osaka today, I think we got to start taking her a little bit more seriously as a potential French Open winner. On the men's side, it is Sinner's world, and we're all living in it. He was impossibly good again today. If you want any other kind of allegiance here, we're pulling for the young man out of Spain, Rafa Joda. We want him coming through on the bottom. No more of this Zverev Sinner finals. Like, this is just not fun. Like, give us some Joda. We want some Joda Sinner. We want to see how close he is. And that is my fingers crossed. That's how it plays out in Rome.
All right. Drew, appreciate you joining the show. We'll chat next week. You can follow Drew on Twitter at @whale_capper. Drew, enjoy the wine this weekend. We'll chat soon.
Best luck, guys.
Great stuff there from Drew. As always, make sure you follow him on Twitter at @whale_capper. We got to be in and out quick here with Mr. Moretto. Don't worry, guys. He's coming on in just a sec. But before we bring him on, quick reminder, after this, 1 p.m. Eastern time, got to get out of here super fast because I'm on Circle Back with Jacob, with Rob, with G-Stack George. It's going to be a great show. And oh my goodness, if you bet on Joaquin Buckley this weekend, or if you bet on Hamzat Chimaev, you are in the most piss. And we'll talk about all that and more on today's show on Circle Back. All right, let's close this one out with a massive Habs fan who's super happy after some back-to-back wins. I don't know what else to say. The Marner hater, but like you forgot that he doesn't play for Toronto anymore. So ipso facto, now good. Alex, how's it going?
I'm not a Marner hater.
You just took Leo Carlson.
I'm a Leafs hater.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah,
but like,
I mean, it's not like, it was more of a, spread the wealth kind of thing in Vegas more than anything. And yeah, Marner went scored shirts. What are you going to do?
Yeah, he, listen, just a good player. Anyways, we got to go rapid fire here to get into stuff. Let's just start with the Avs Wild game for tonight. Then we'll get into the other two games on Tuesday, since we will not be having an NHL segment tomorrow. Avs Wild, who you got tonight?
I got nothing in this one. I think if you miss the boat on the Avs early, then there's nothing else really left here. We'll see how far this one runs. I think it's kind of settled for now. We'll see if there's more money. No Eriksson Ek. I got nothing in this game. I think I really do like this Minnesota team, but again, I can't do it. Their defense thins out way too fast without Brodin, and no Eriksson Ek is just they're way too shorthanded for me to back right now against the Avs. If they can get just somehow weather the storm, win tonight, and like get those guys back, it gets really interesting all of a sudden. But yeah, I think they're up against it here.
Any word on who's going to be the starting goalie for the Avs tonight? Is it going to be Blackwood? Is it going to be Wedgwood? Does it matter?
I don't know. No, it doesn't matter.
They're the same to me, honestly, right? Like,
yeah. I mean, like, I think they go with Blackwood. It's not confirmed, but like I think they go with Blackwood. But like,
Jordan in the chat just said Blackwood confirmed, so it must have just happened right now.
Oh, he is confirmed. Okay, okay, all right. I didn't know he was confirmed. I think that's more likely that they go with him though. So yes, that makes sense. But there's not a huge difference between them both. No, I do think Blackwood's really good, but Wedgwood's fine.
Yeah, seems like Blackwood in the starters net as of 14 minutes ago. Wasn't going to affect my dog of the day, so I'll just give out my dog of the day right now. Anyways, Colorado -1.5 plus 164 on FanDuel. This team can just run away with games. Like we talked about last week. Minnesota can score, but this Colorado team can score at will, and it's going to be tough to kind of keep them down. And so, listen, I think they're going to win tonight. So I'm going to take that 1.5 at plus 164, which is available at FanDuel. There's some better prices out there. So obviously shop around and find those better prices like the plus 192, but going to be grading against the FanDuel line just for transparency's sake. All right. Yep. Next two games we got is Ducks and Golden Knights. We got to save the best for last. So Ducks, Golden Knights. We got the Ducks, or sorry, the Golden Knights right now, minus 150 on the money line. Totals at 6, juice towards the over, minus 122 at FanDuel. Anything you like in this game for Tuesday?
I'm still riding with Vegas, not in this game, but like a lot of series stuff. I think still grabbing a little minus 1.5 is not the worst thing in the world. Like, obviously last night, tough loss, and I'm fairly deserved it. That's fine. But like, no Stone shouldn't miss much time beyond that, hopefully. I think there's still a sizable gap between these two teams. I respect what the Ducks have done in like responding to losses. They have come back and tightened things up and cleaned things up. Like every time they lose, they come back out the next game and they put in a much better performance. So that's down to coaching. Quenneville, I think, is a really, really good coach. So they're going to be a tough out, but like, I haven't really wavered here in thinking Vegas gets this done. Maybe it ends up being 7 and, they have to go the distance, but like, I do still feel confident in Vegas getting by the Ducks.
Yeah, if the Ducks do end up winning on Tuesday, I'm definitely looking at Vegas series prices. I'm looking at Vegas series prices right now. I just think, again, this team is overall better than this Ducks team. I don't know how often the Ducks can bounce back like they've been doing after these losses. Just, again, this Vegas team just looks better. That's my opinion. Anyways, let's move on to the final game here. Habs, Buffalo, Montreal right now, minus 134. We're starting to see a little bit more respect come in on them after, what is it, back-to-back four goal wins. I agree with you. I talked about it I feel like I kind of ate some crow after the game one, after Montreal lost. But I mean, on Friday, I gave them out as my dog of the day. I really liked Montreal as I believe they were plus 110. And I didn't check the market at close, but I feel like the game one, it got shoved in my face. It moved out to like 118. Don't know if it moved in the second game here, but again, game 3, they were just too short priced, and now minus 134. It still feels like they're still too short with how good Dobish is playing. Talk us through this game. It seems like you like Montreal here.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're significantly better. Like, I've talked about this at length. I talked about Buffalo as well, how I wanted to fade them like many different times, and I did fade them many different times, often costing me money. But like, Habs coming into the series, like, what they're capable of, the level they're able to get to. I just don't think Buffalo is able to do that. I think you can really just throw game 1 out the window. Not that it doesn't matter, but like, coming out of that Tampa series, it's just such a big transition to face a team like Tampa to going to face a team like Buffalo. Coming off of game 7, like, bit of a emotional, not even hangover, but just like coming off like such an emotional high into, a game 1 of a series on the road, whatever. Like, they clearly saw what they were up against in Buffalo, made the necessary adjustments, and the Sabres have not been able to generate anything on the rush like they were in. Like, game 1 was just, the gaps were too big in the neutral zone, giving up those stretch passes, some bad pinches, some mental mistakes, like just uncharacteristic stuff you didn't see in round 1, stuff you haven't seen in a long time from this team. They cleaned that up quickly. Obviously got in the film room. Marty Latowski and the guys, they sort of worked with them. And I think what we've seen in the last 2 games is a lot more representative of how these two teams match up. Not that the Habs are necessarily going to just dog walk them the next 2 games, but I do think that they will comfortably see this out before. Like, this is not going to go the distance.
Yeah, talk about Lane Hudson, like 20-year-old kid, what was it, 21, 22, 20 something, young, makes a, I don't want to say a bonehead, just like honestly unfortunately slips, trips on like a goal and like
played on the boards
game 1 and bounces back and just looks incredible in both games. He's like, this is on me. It's like, wow, imagine that kind of energy from a star player. Would be nice to see versus there's 2 sides of the coin. You could be like, hey, this is on me, or you could be like, there are too many passengers on this team, which is a crazy thing to say if you only score 3 goals.
A lot of lack of accountability here, but
there we go. But yeah, no, this Montreal team does look good. And I feel like something that's underrated, like obviously hockey teams, I don't want to say like teams that get bounce in the first round, or teams that end up losing, and they talk about the injuries afterward. Like I don't want to say that they blow things out of proportion, but like the amount of injuries that we heard come out of Boston sort of made like a lot of sense. Zadorov, I know, hasn't been that great this past year, but like he was playing with like a torn MCL, and I remember very few times in series 1 where Buffalo was kind of just invited into the front of the net. Zadorov wasn't clearing the crease, and just like it makes sense because the guy couldn't even skate. Like the retrievals
Boston's
were just all
just
off,
not good to begin with. Like they just weren't
a
good team to begin with, right? And then banged up like the way they were. It was not like and honestly, Buffalo didn't look good in beating them. Like they had the 1 or 2 games where they were kind of dominant, but they really like struggled through those first 2 games. Like it was pretty ugly at times, and you could see the warning signs there. And I mean, look, this is obviously far from over. Like things can change in a hurry, you know, maybe rough, whatever. Like I don't know if that Zucker McLeod line can get going, or maybe Thompson gets going, but like it's hard to see things swinging enough for Buffalo to actually like get through this series and go on to face Carolina, because I think there is a decent gap between these 2 teams.
Yeah, no. So it sounds like you like the Montreal minus 134 then.
Yeah, I would rather attack the Habs in like other ways than betting them in game 4. Like the minus
series?
1.5 is like minus 125 in the series. You're gonna get like plus 270-ish on minus 2.5, or like to win 4-1, which is, in my opinion, where I think this will close. And if they do win that game, where I think game 5 will close, I think parlaying those 2 together, you'll get a better price back in the to win 4-1 or minus 2.5 than you will on that game-to-game parlay. So it's one of the rare instances where I actually don't mind betting into a market like that. I think I'd rather attack them there. They're still like, look, I know Dobish is now down to 25-1, but like I talked about Hudson when he was 125-1. He's 40-1 now. Like I would still be betting Hudson to win the Conn Smythe. I think that's still a really, really good look. You look at like past winners, Conn Smythe is very much a not entirely, but like heavily weighted towards what have you done for me lately. You look at like all the like previous winners. Like I know we're kind of short on time, so we don't have to like get deep into it. But like Bennett, Marchessault, Makar, Hedman, Ryan O'Reilly in 2019, these guys put up like well over 60% of their points for the most part, and goals in the final 2 rounds. So like you see guys, and Hudson's already got a comfortable lead, but like I don't think necessarily even what we've seen to this point is representative of how the odds should be. So I like betting Hudson, even if you want to like stick with Conn Smythe for a second. Like if you want to also look at Carolina, like Jarvis 60-1, Aho 40-1. Like I know Blake, Stankoven, and those guys have a big cushion, but like again, there's going to be a lot of room in the next 2 rounds for the top dogs on Carolina to kind of make up for that. So those are just some Conn Smythe looks I got. The Habs too. Different ways to attack them: series prices, some futures markets. There's hypothetical series price Habs Carolina right now, and the Habs are like plus 215. I don't think it closes plus 215. So take that for what it's worth.
Love the look ahead price there on the Habs. The Habs Carolina series, also like kind of a free roll if the Habs end up losing. Like it's just
So it's
kind of good, especially if you think you're gonna
no losing here.
Yeah, there we go. No losing here. Just before we head out, Marner to win the Conn Smythe, I think is also a pretty good bet. Just I feel like he's not soaking up enough equity. You mentioned Hudson at 40-1. Habs plus 950. I agree with you. Not enough equity.
Yeah, like really just
Hudson as well.
Looking down the board, like again, I know you got to go, so we'll keep this really short. But like, I think there's room for guys to still make a statement in this market. I think this is the best time to take flyers on guys who haven't necessarily done enough in the first 2 rounds. Like I'm looking at, like, if you want to look at some really big prices, never mind the guys I just mentioned, like Netjes 125-1, Dorofeev 225-1, Slavkovsky's 250-1. Like these are guys who play prominent roles, who can who can like really take off in the next 2 rounds and close the gap. I just have no interest in betting Hall, Blake, Stankoven, Freddie at this point. Obviously, if you were in early on Freddie, great, but like I'm not petting him at 5-1. They played 2 teams that can't score goals in the first 2 rounds. Like that's going to change in the next 2 rounds, regardless of who they face. I'm like fading Makar plus 950. Like I don't want to buy any of these guys really at the top of the board. I can see the case for McKinnon. Outside of that, not that interested.
Yeah. Also, like on top of that, last thing before we head out, it's just tough. Like they haven't had tough matchups. This Carolina team, this second line of Stankoven, Blake, Hall. The other teams that they're going to be facing are going to be much tougher and much more tighter defensively than the lines that they've been playing in the first 2 series here. Alex, appreciate you joining the show. Follow Alex on Twitter at Alex J. Moretto. Keep things tight and smooth. We got to head out. Alex, talk soon.
Go Habs, go.
All right, great stuff there from Alex. And that's it. That wraps up today's show. Quick reminder, dog of the day. We're taking the Avs -1.5 plus 164. You can find better prices out there, so shop around. But plus 164 on FanDuel. Rewind if you want to hear the reasons. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Do us a favor, smash the like button. Goes a long way here on the channel, the new channel as well. Hit that subscribe button. Comment down below what you're betting today. Always curious to hear what the chat is on. We'll see you guys on Circle Back. Shout out to Drew. Shout out to Alex. Shout out to Corby. Congratulations. Good luck to Corby. Hope all the wedding stuff goes well. And that's it. That wraps up today's show. This has been the Monday, May 11th edition of the Hammer Daily here on the Hammer Betting Network, presented by our good friends over at FanDuel. We'll see you guys right here for the PGA Championship extravaganza tomorrow.